Today, we're digging into something pretty fascinating. We're looking at how one country is taking a completely different path on one of the most complex technologies out there, quantum computing. All right, let's jump right in.
So take a look at this. This is a quantum computer. It might not look like much, but this piece of hardware has the power to basically revolutionize everything. We're talking medicine, finance, you name it. And right now, the global superpowers are in this frantic, high-stakes race to build the biggest and the best one.
But here's the thing. The barrier to entry here is just immense. You need billions of dollars. You need decades of really deep research and super specialized manufacturing. So the big question is, how can any other country even hope to compete?
Well, that is where Vietnam enters the picture. See, instead of trying to join that incredibly expensive hardware race, they're focusing on something else entirely. They're building a complete quantum ecosystem from the ground up. And the heart of this entire strategy is a single, nationwide initiative. It's called VNQuantum, and it's basically designed to orchestrate the country's whole quantum future.
So what exactly is VNQuantum? Well, think of it like a national control tower. It was launched in 2025 with one clear mission: to take all the quantum research that was kind of scattered across different universities and labs and pull it all together under one strategic vision, connecting the researchers, the businesses, and the government. And you know, this logo really shows you the goal. Before this, all the efforts were fragmented, all over the place. But now, the government is funneling everything into one cohesive national strategy. The goal? To build a real competitive edge in the global quantum market. Okay, so who are the key players making all this happen? Let's break down the pillars of the project. The whole strategy really relies on this tight collaboration between the researchers, the ones laying the foundation, and the builders, who turn all that research into something real. Now this slide, this is basically the master plan. This chart maps out the entire ecosystem. Over on the left, you've got research and academia. You can think of them as the brains of the operation. And on the right, you've got industry and commercialization. Those are the builders turning theory into reality. Let's break this down a bit. So first, let's look at that foundation. These are the institutions doing the deep, fundamental scientific work that really everything else is built on top of. Two institutions are absolutely central here. You have the Vietnam Academy of Science and Technology, or VAST. That's the core research engine. And then you have Vietnam National University, or VNU, which is the talent pipeline, responsible for training that next generation of quantum engineers and scientists. And they have very distinct jobs. VAST is all about the fundamental principles. You know, things like controlling single photons for quantum communication. Meanwhile, VNU has two main campuses, and they specialize. The Hanoi campus works closely with the government and defense, while the Ho Chi Minh campus is focused on more practical, commercial applications. Okay, so let's move over to the other side of that blueprint. Now we get to the industry titans. These are the companies tasked with turning all that brilliant research into actual, real-world products and services. And two giants are really leading the charge, but with totally different missions. First, you've got Viettel, the huge state-owned telecom company. They're the guardian. Their focus on quantum key distribution, or QKD, which is all about creating unhackable communication networks for the government and military. Then on the other side, you have CT Group, the innovator, and they're laser-focused on commercial applications in things like biotech and semiconductors. And let me tell you, CT Group is incredibly ambitious. They've actually proposed deploying Vietnam's first ever quantum computer. And their goal is so specific to use its massive power to speed up gene analysis and discover new medicines, things where our traditional supercomputers are really starting to hit a wall. So, we've met the players. But what's the actual game plan? Well, Vietnam has this very clear phased national roadmap for putting this all into action. This roadmap lays it all out pretty clearly. It's a two-stage plan that kicks off in 2026. And you should notice the geographic split. That's very intentional. It starts in the country's political capital and then expands to its economic hub. The logic here is really the crucial part. Step 1, starting in 2026, is all about Hanoi. The goal there is to first secure the nation's core. We're talking defense, government agencies, national data centers. Then, once that core is protected, step 2 kicks in. That's when the quantum network expands to the economic heart of the country, Ho Chi Minh City, targeting finance and high-tech industries. And the scope of this ambition is just huge. The plan is targeting everything from securing the entire financial system to powering smart cities
and totally revolutionizing healthcare. It's really a vision for a total national transformation.
So what does this all add up to? When you zoom out and look at the big picture, Vietnam's strategy isn't just some national plan. It could actually be a whole new playbook for other countries, especially in this age of AI and quantum.
And this, right here, this is the key takeaway. For Vietnam, the quantum race isn't about who can build the most powerful physical machine. It's about who can build the smartest, most integrated ecosystem of talent, software, and real-world applications.
Ultimately, what this is a really clever strategic pivot. Instead of trying to compete head-on with these multi-billion-dollar hardware projects, Vietnam is playing to its strengths, leveraging its national talent in software development. The goal is to carve out a valuable niche in quantum software, which is a critical part of the future market that, honestly, a lot of the big global players are kind of overlooking.
Which leaves us with one final big question. In a world where these huge technological races often feel like a game that's only for the superpowers, has Vietnam just created a new, smarter playbook for how emerging nations can build their own high-tech future?